me every day of the week. All kinds of ideas and imaginations that you won't believe. As I'm gathering all my emotions corroded inside of me, I'm channeling through airwaves and frequencies you cannot see. Directly delivered by the one and only 313 production. A whole new level of divine orchestrated composition. I'll be the first one in and I'll be the last one out the mission. Got your imagination thinking that this is some competition. I think it's time you start checking what you're smoking and what you're drinking. Don't try getting in my way, I'll run you over without hesitation. You're the abomination, you're the enemy of all existence. Whether you love me or hate me, that silly shit doesn't make a difference. I'll regulate, I'll set you free, you'll land on top of a tree like a praying mantis. I'm feeling good, I'm doing great, smoking the weed I be purchasing. I'm breathing and living the mission, the passion is the ultimate ending. I don't need you to motivate me, I don't ever need you to like me. There's nothing you can do to discourage me, I'm eternally lit. They got you doing silly tricks like touching your nose with your fingertip. They got you checking a bunch of dumb shit right off your bucket list. So right up by now you're probably thinking that you weren't ready for this. Cause this is a type of movement you don't want to miss. Don't try anything funny, you'll quickly be dismissed. Don't dive into an empty pool like my friend Chris did. This guy be quenching his thirst, drinking his very own piss. Even though he saw it coming from far away, he still got hit. Some people just don't get it, it doesn't matter how much you explain it. Some people ain't computing because they were born ignorant. I definitely feel I'm living a blessing on a daily basis, which reminds me, you're the spiritual nemesis. Get ready to feel the heat, or do us all a favor, get the hell out of the kitchen. Get ready to feel the fire, the power of my operation. With me, there's never really dying, there's only eternity. I know I got my back, cause I got everything I need. Unfortunately, instead of people feeling happy, they be feeling jealousy. I'm telling them pride and envy will never allow them to see clearly. Social condition has taken over the entire biology and psychology. I'm standing firmly on my 2 feet, I never need security. You bury me however many feet, filling your cup of tea. I'll fly over the sea. Try stepping up to me, you'll get acquainted with your destiny. So tell me, where did you say you wanted to go? Who did you wanna be? If I were you, I'd keep it close on my lip. Your tongue is way too slippery. This is a spiritual revolution. There ain't no time for money, hungry mentality. This is 313 production under one jury, fighting for people's victory.
You're the enemy, the enemy, the enemy in the flesh. You're the enemy, the enemy, the enemy in the flesh. You're the enemy, the enemy, the enemy in the flesh. You're the enemy, the enemy, the enemy in the flesh.
Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space. Continually making up stories in order to fulfill your empty space.